Oh hey guys, Boston fan back, and I wanted to make a video today. It's months in the making. It just kind of show off a new some items in a new PC that I'm doing, and I've been playing stuff of this player for since July at least. So I'll give a little backstory of it. I don't need to do much introduction to the player. It's that gentleman right there on the update box. It is none other than the left hand of God, Sandy Koufax. And so this card, the 1961 card, I've never showed this on the channel. This is the first vintage card that I can remember buying. When I was in sixth or so grade, there was a card shop that was going out of business and they had everything half off. It was during Christmas break. My father brought me over there and he encouraged me to purchase this card, the 61. And I was really excited because my dad was really excited about it. And I knew a little bit about Sandy Koufax. Ken Burns' baseball documentary did a great job educating me. I've since read a biography about him. And I've come to really admire him. But I got started by being interested in Sandy Koufax just because my father thought he was great and knew him. The card itself's not in the greatest condition, but it's not so bad. I actually touched it for the first time today. It's been in a screw down since I bought it. And I put it in the one touch a couple minutes ago. It's got a rough cut edge here, obviously not centered, little shading there, maybe some kind of red mark there. I don't know. I love it. It's been in my collection now for approximately 20, maybe even 30 years. I don't know. So I've had that for a while. I'm going to kind of show off some of the stuff that I've had for a bit now. For my 59 set build, you just saw this in the grading video, but I picked up this 59 Koufax more than a year ago, so that's been in there. Then sometime around last Christmas, I thought that this 64 World Series Koufax just looked really cool. Again, I hadn't committed to PCing him or anything or trying to get his player run, but I thought this card looked really neat. Just you can see his back arch there, which he was famous for, and stretching out to throw a pitch. So I wanted to add that. And I paid $8 for that or something. And then in the spring, I bought a 66 Koufax, not in the greatest condition. There's edge wear there. This is when I first started getting my allowances from my wife, and I found this relatively cheap. I don't remember exactly what I paid for it, but I may upgrade this now that I've officially started a PC, because it's not in the greatest condition. I'm not completely happy with it. There's just some looks like paper loss almost. So I may upgrade this at some point, but right now I'm counting it. And then it was July, and I was, just kind of going over what I had, what I wanted to get. And I realized, out of all the legends, I collect vintage cards now, which I hadn't really focused on in the past. And I collect autographs, I collect Hall of Fame plaques, all this kind of things. And I realized I had a Sandy Koufax autograph, 8x10. Didn't have any certification with it, but the people on sportscollectors.net, I had sent it for opinions there, and there's a lot of long-time autograph collectors, and it was widely okayed there as being authentic, so that was good with me. But since that time, my collecting interests have changed somewhat, and I look at my collection more as a legacy now than I did certainly then. I didn't have kids then, I have two now, so I look at it as a way, something to pass down. And yes, I will, of course, pass that 8x10 down, believing fully that it's authentic, and I continue to believe that it's authentic. But I also realize, I want something certified by Koufax too. And so I literally got into a YouTube wormhole of just watching about Sandy Koufax, and I got really into it, and really came to admire him even more, for not pitching in the World Series on Yom Kippur and retiring at the top of his game because he valued the use of his left arm, which, not a lot of athletes do, I don't think. I think they look at the money and they're like, okay, I can stick it out for a couple more years. And he basically said, I'd spend all the money in the world to buy the use of my left arm back, so I might as well retire now before I lose the use of it. And so what I'm going to show you now is everything I picked up since basically mid-July. Generally in chronological order. The first two things were around the same time. First, the 58 Koufax that came back in my recent SGC submission. I picked that up right around the time. I was like, hey, this is pretty cheap. I think it was $80, which I think was a great price for 58. Loved the card. Loved the Brooklyn logo sneaking into Los Angeles card there. Thought it was in good condition. Clearly, SGC agreed. So I picked that up, and right around the same time, and again, I was going to make a video in July about these two purchases, and then I was like, well, I got the 58 graded, so I'll wait, and it just got pushed back. But I dipped into my collection savings. So I have a savings account that I've dedicated to my collection. During COVID and like 2020, 2021, I wasn't buying anything. I was just literally selling and really, didn't have a passion to buy anything. So it's just been sitting in a high yield savings account. I pulled some money out of that and I purchased this certified autograph. It's signed in pen. Some scuffing on the case. The autograph, the pen ran a little bit there, but overall it's a pretty bold signature. Something I really liked. I paid a lot for it. I paid $200, a little bit more with tax, but I wanted a certified example. Encapsulated was, kind of, a little cherry on top. So that's when I decided, I want to PC Sandy Koufax. I was willing to make that kind of investment to have something for my collection and also to pass on to my kids. I picked up the 58 at the same time, and so then I had this row, what is it, 6 items of Sandy Koufax. And I've since nearly doubled that. I'm generally hoping to do a player run for him. I haven't been a player run in the person in the past, but for Koufax, I feel like I want to do that. So sometime in October, I picked up his 63 Fleer. This is a card I've been looking at for a while before the PC. I just think 63 Fleer is a neat set, and I love the image on this card. Not, of course, like most of the cards I buy, not in the greatest shape, but it's not terrible. See, the back's pretty vivid. They list this 300. I paid in the 30s or 40s for this, I believe. Don't remember off the top of my head, but really nice card to add, I thought. So I added that, and then around the same time, I haven't done allowance videos in a couple months, but part of my allowance for 1 month was picking up the 63 Koufax at 2.5. Good enough for me. Corner wear a little bit, obviously off center, gearing towards the bottom left, but I love the image on this 63 card. The profile view, Los Angeles spelled out across the front. You can see the makings of his number there. I think it's a really nice looking card. And for me, when I was doing my searches, I just had 1963 Sandy Koufax, and I wasn't getting a lot of hits, or the ones that I were really expensive. So when this one came down to my price level, around $50, I would say. I don't remember again. I was like, yep, I want it. And so I added that to the now growing PC. Do I have any more stands? I do. I have one right here. So I added that in there. And then come around Thanksgiving, I picked up 2 more. So on sportscollectors.net, someone was selling some vintage cards unsigned. And they had the 62 Koufax for $35, and I thought that was an excellent deal. Decent condition, again, something that would go towards me. Not perfect, but a little bit of a wax, looks like a wax stain up there, a little bit of marking right there and there, but again, so small it doesn't bother me. Really nice looking card. I'm glad to add that, and $35 I thought was much more than reasonable for that card. So added the 62, and then right around that, the Batter's Box was having a Black Friday sale. They're having a discount on all their cards, and they had the 63 Peel Off, which again isn't base. It's, I wouldn't say part of his player run, but they had it listed for $20 on discount or on sale, and I did an eBay search, and the next closest one that I could find was $50. So I thought, hey, this seems like a really good price. It's pretty neat, and so I picked it up. With tax, it was $25. So these were inserted into 1963 Topps packs, and basically comes with a full back. Place all-stars, so peel off the back and place the all-stars on books, walls, bikes, or anything. And so I thought that was really neat. It does show its age a little bit. It's a little bit toned, so it's not perfect condition, but definitely something that I really like, and it's really cool to add. And I thought $25 was just a spectacular price based on what I could see on eBay at the time. And that basically concludes this video. I just wanted to show off a bunch of new items and things that I haven't shown off. But I'm hoping at some point to complete, and this is over several years. I don't expect to complete it in 2024. But the Koufax basic tops run, and then add on any league leaders or others that I think are neat. Again, Sandy Koufax is somebody who I admire as a person. I admire as a player. His years 61 through 66 were just absolutely dominant. Maybe the greatest ever by any pitcher, any run, 4 no-hitters, 3 Cy Young awards when the Cy Young was only 1 Cy Young for the entire major leagues. And he's got some really cool cards, I think. All these to me are just really attractive cards. I am watching his rookie card. I don't have money, but I'm hoping to save for it. That's going to be one of my goals in 2024 is to pick up his 55. And then we'll see how we do on the 64 and 65. I strike out a lot on those cards, though. I'm watching them. And we'll go from there. But I'm really happy with this small little PC I have. Glad to have a certified autograph that I can hand down to my kids, and then just a whole bunch, looking at them. This is the first time they've actually all been grouped together, and just looking at it, just, I don't know, seems cool. If I ever get a sports room again, who knows, maybe I'll have a little Sandy Koufax corner showing off everything here, because it's pretty neat. And it all started with this little guy back in what would have been 1994 or so. $30 at a card shop, half off on sale, so he had it listed at 60, picked it up for 30, and yeah, that was it. So that's my story. Sandy Koufax is one of my guys now, in addition to Red Sox and like a million other things that I collect as I try to figure out what I want to buy and where I want to spend my money. Anyways, if you lasted this long to look at my Sandy Koufax collection, I appreciate it. Thank you guys all for watching. As always, I hope to see you again soon.